Imagine waking up in the morning, heart racing, mind cluttered with deadlines, family responsibilities, and financial worries. This is exactly what stress represents. It is like an uninvited guest knocking on your door, and this guest comes to you irrespective of your location, irrespective of your age, irrespective of your race, irrespective of your status. But here is the good news: stress does not have to control you. You can rise above it, you can manage it, and even turn it into strength. Welcome to this edition of Taking the Lead. I am Chris Obebo, and today I will be talking on a very important topic titled Breaking Free from Stress as the Key to Finding Balance in Life. I will be talking about what stress means. I'll be talking about what it does to the body. I'll be talking about how stress shows up and what you can do to effectively manage stress so that you don't break down beyond recovery. And I will start today by defining what is stress. What does stress really mean? To answer that question, I will look at stress from three different angles. The first one is the scriptural angle, the second one is the scientific angle, and the third one, of course, is the professional angle. So, to start with, scriptural angle. Stress, biblically speaking, can be described as the cares of this world. And what are the things that constitute the cares of this world? The bills that you have to pay, the debt, the money you are owing people, then the rising cost of inflation, the fact that the job you are doing is not secured, the demand of raising children, the demand of caring for aging parents, marital conflict, deadlines to meet here and there, toxic work environment, career development worries, the fear of tomorrow, instability everywhere, and security issues here and there. All of these things, they choke the peace and the joy of an individual. Stress is also the weight that overwhelms a person, that overwhelms a soul when one carry life's pressure alone. And I can tell you that stress is very real. Scientifically, stress is the body's natural response to any demand or challenge. If it's a physical demand placed on you, if it's an emotional demand or mental demand, the body's natural response to any challenge or any demand made on it is actually stress. And this natural response is either to fight or flight. This natural response triggers two modes, either to what? To take a flight, to escape, or what? Or to fight. And these now begin to release two different hormones. The first one is the cortisol, and then the second one is the adrenaline. The third angle I will be defining stress from is the professional angle. This talks about the psychological and the mental angle. And so, stress from the professional angle is actually when there is an imbalance between demand and resources. When life asks more of you than what you are capable of, you feel under pressure, you feel pressurized, and that pressure will now put you under duress, under stress. Now, having defined stress in this various area, it's now important to look at the different types of stress that exist and what are the things that cause this stress and possible way out, so that you will be able to know the kind of stress that you are going through, where does it fall in these different clusters. The first type of stress is what I call the acute stress. Now, the acute stress is actually a short-term stress and comes from pressures. Probably you are giving pressures at work, you have an unexpected deadline that you have been given, or there are conflicts arising because of unexpected demands that have been made. Those are what? Those are short-term or acute pressure. And look at Jesus Christ in the Garden of Gethsemane. He actually faced that pressure for that short period of time that seems like a longer period. What did he do? Even though he was under pressure, he still found time to be able to pray. The second type of stress is what I call the chronic stress. Now, the chronic stress is a longer form of stress than the acute. And this happens because of an ongoing, unresolved conflict. For example, you have long-term pressure due to monetary problem. Perhaps you are owing, you took a loan from the bank, and because you have not been able to pay, the loan keeps increasing aside the initial capital, and then the money gets bigger. Or you are working in an environment, you've been working there for a long time, and the working condition have been very toxic, and you've not been able to leave because you don't have any alternative. Or you have so much pressure coming on you because of work, and you've made complaint to find a way to reduce it, but nobody's responding to you. That's a case of chronic stress. The third type of stress I would like to mention is what I call the hue stress. Now, the hue stress is a type of stress that comes as a result of transition in life. So imagine someone preparing for wedding. There's a kind of stress that will come on the person. Now, the huge stress is positive because the person is moving from being a spinster or a bachelor to becoming married. So the preparation, the arrangement, the traveling, the consultation will naturally put the person under pressure. Or a person who has submitted proposal and is now being told to come and make presentation. So the person will be going here and there to get documents, to get uh, papers together so that the presentation will be very superb. Such a person will be under stress, but it's important that you embrace and manage it so that you don't let excitement lead you to exhaustion. The fourth type of stress is what I call the emotional stress. Now, the emotional stress comes because of personal loss. Perhaps the loss of a relative, the loss of a friend, heartbreak, disappointment, divorce, and all of that. Now, to be able to handle that one, such a person needs to find a supportive community. Another way to handle that is for the person who has suffered the emotional stress to turn that pain into a purpose. And a very good example of someone that did this was Anna. Yes, she had been barren for a while, and Penina had been mocking her. So what she did was that her pain, she turned to God in prayer and then turned to a purpose that God, look, if you give me a son, I need the son. If you give me a son, I will give him back to you. The last type of stress is the environmental stress. And this is due to noise, this is due to traffic or disturbance wherever you are. Even the media, the social media and the mainstream media can equally be an environmental stress. And you may not be able to control that by virtue of where you are living. So what you need to do in this kind of situation is to deliberately find a way to get an environment for yourself where you can be alone, to find space of calm in the midst of the noise. At other times, you may have to get off social media for a while to clear your head. At other times, you can find a way to rearrange your space to give it a different new look. So, having talked about these different kinds of stress, the question now will be, what are the effects of stress? Because stress is real. All the effects of stress can be categorized into two. There is the immediate effect as well as the long-term effect. Part of the immediate effect is that your heart just begin to palpitate. Your heart begin to race up and down here and there. Another effect that you start having headache. It's like someone is eating your head. It's like your head is about to blow. Another immediate effect is that you start feeling irritated. Everything start getting you irritated and then you are on the edge. And consequently, you lose focus. You are not able to concentrate. You are not very productive. Just like Elijah in 1 Kings chapter 19, when he faced stress and threats from Jezebel, the Bible said he ran for his life. He ran so much that he became so drained and asked God to take his life. He had given up. The long-term effect of stress are even more. You have high blood pressure, You have depression, you have broken relationship, and the person who used to be very, very productive will now become non-productive, spiritually dry, fatigue. Stress when it's unchecked actually eats up the body and the soul. The World Health Organization, they have produced reports linking chronic stress to increased risk of heart disease and mental illness. The Israelites in the wilderness constantly stressed themselves. Oh, there's no food, there's no water. How do we find a place to care for our children? They were stressed. They stressed themselves over food and safety. And what was the result? It limited their faith in God. And ultimately, many of them died in the wilderness. Stress reduced a person's lifespan. And that will take me to the next point, which is what are the practical steps to manage stress? Because the reality is that stress is actually built into the way this life is, and you need to face some stress. That's the reality. So, but then how do you manage stress? Because, like they say in the local parlance, problem no dey finish. The first way to manage stress is that you need to pause, you need to pray and reflect. Begin with the scripture very early in the morning before the day starts. Try to pray, try to reflect, and see how you can commit your way to the hand of God, so that no matter what actually happens in the course of the day, you've already determined a way for how the day will be, because you began with God. The next thing is for you to simplify and prioritize. Know that not everything is urgent. Everything may appear to be urgent, but in reality, not everything is urgent. You need to learn to say no to some responsibility. You need to learn to say no to some invitation. You don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to respond to everything. When you have a task before you, I suggest you use the 3 Ds. Ask yourself, should I do this now? Does it have to be done now? This next D is, should I delegate it? Instead of me taking this up to do, can I delegate it? And the third D is, should I drop it? Let me leave it alone. So, should I do it? Should I delegate it? Should I drop it? The third way you can actually respond to stress, manage stress, is to take care of your body. You need to be alive and be very well to be able to rise up to the challenges that comes your way. So learn to take care of your body by regular exercise. Learn to take care of your body by sleeping well. Learn to take care of your body by resting. Learn to take care of your body by eating balanced diet. Like someone already mentioned, if you don't find time to rest, you risk being late to rest. So God now rested on the seventh day, not because he was tired. However, he was showing you and I a pattern that needs to be followed. You don't have to wait till you are bedridden, till you cannot carry yourself, till you rest. No, no. God rested on the seventh day, not because he was tired, but he gave a pattern for you and I to follow. Another way you can actually manage stress is that you should have healthy connections. Surround yourself with people that will lift you, people that will encourage you, not people that will drain you. Have a time where you speak with friends, where you communicate with them. And when all this is has not been able to help you, seek professional help in form of medical checkup, in form of therapy, in form of counseling. Don't wait until you break down. Invest in your mental health today. The truth is this: stress is very real, but it does not have to steal your life. It does not have to cut short your life. Remember that you are not designed to carry the weight of the world. So learn to cast all your cares on God. Use wisdom to manage your load, your responsibilities. The problem of this world cannot be finished, and you are not designed to carry them all. Find a way to rest, build rest around your schedule. And when stress comes knocking, answer with faith in God. Answer with strategy of what to do, and be resilient. Your best life is not the one that is stress free, because stress is built into life, is the one that is stress managed. So ask yourself, what one thing can I do? Can I drop? and can I delegate? Thank you. God bless you.